Everybody. Hi, everyone. Another Wednesday and another live. I'm so happy to see all of you guys here. Today topic is, can we save partnership or a marriage that the passion and everything has died down? So it's going to be an interesting topic. Welcome everybody on YouTube. Good to see you all. Much kiss. Okay, so basically, I would like to give a shout out to all of our Gen Zs, the Generation Zs, the new generations, because they are extremely important to me and to our community because these are the new generations. So if we can somehow help with the informations that are be giving out for the new generation, it would be helpful and maybe it can make their lives easier, right? Okay, so where are you in your partnership? Can you save the dying relationship? It depends on many things. First of all, how committed are you? How many years have you been in this relationships? And basically, how much time, effort, and energy have you spent on these relationships? So, this is the question that I need to ask myself when I'm overly looking at this relationship to see that how much time and energy this has been a huge investment for me. Yes or no? Write it in the comment for me. Or do you say, well, I am in a partnership, but I haven't really taken that seriously. I had my goal. This is where I have been in the past, right? So in the past, I've been in a relationship, but I wasn't really invested in my earliest relationship because basically I didn't see it maybe somehow as an important investment for me. So I invested the majority of my time on my goals. I was very focused on my goals. Where am I going? What am I doing? And I coexisted in a relationship, but I wasn't fully present in my relationship, right? So, thank you, darling. So, basically, tell me, when you're looking at your relationship right now, overally, how much time, money, effort have you spent it? How mindfully you were fully present there? Or on the contrary, no, it wasn't that important and you didn't spend enough time or whatever, right? So that's the first thing that we want to see. Now, after years of being in a relationships, or maybe for the time being that you have been in this relationship, basically you want to take a deeper look at it and see during these years how often have you been irritated, how often that you felt that you've been ignored. Maybe many times you have discussed your relationships and you have even intimate times talking about this, that this is where I think is not happening, this does not satisfy me, I'm not being happy, I'm not being satisfied. But then again, you had all this conversation, but generally you see nothing is really changing or shifted in your relationship, right? So how frustrated are you? Write it in the comment for me right now. In your relationship, how frustrated are you? How ignored or feeling like hopeless, that is not going to go anywhere? And then what is the quality of this relationship? Do you feel and sense a codependency in the relationship, maybe from your side or from both sides? This codependency that you feel like this is, you're not happy here, and or your partner had checked out long ago, but because of my codependency, I'm still coexisting in this relationship and I'm not fully invested. Or on the contrary, how invested your partner is in this relationship. So basically, this is what we need to kind of be honest with ourselves and see, if I'm not happy in this relationship, why am I there? Why are you in this relationship if you're not satisfied and if you're not happy? Because codependency is basically, I did a live about it a while back too, is that I'm not happy, I'm not satisfied, I'm not being seen or heard or whatever, but I am hoping that somehow in the future, the situation will change or this person will change. Therefore, we continue being there and we just losing time, because as you go on, you see nothing is really changing. You're not changing, he's not changing, and the situation is not changing. So, is this a codependency relationship? Yes or no? Now, for the Gen Zs, this live is for you. Let's say that you are just starting to get interested in partnership. What are the things that you have to really look into? What are the things that you would say, when I'm in my 40s or 50s or 60s, I would say, when I look back, I would say, I wish that I knew that back then, right? So, what are the things? Basically, let's say that you and I are going on a date, right? It's the first time I'm going to date somebody. Number one, and the most important thing, is that you are going to meet this person for the first time, right? So the first thing that you have to remember, that we are living on an earth school. Why do we call it earth school? Because everything, it's a lesson here. So please write it down in the comment for me, that you are sitting in a school, and every minute and every second there is a new class that you're walking into. I understand that this, I am here on earth school, right? And everyone, not some, everybody is a teacher. The minute I come to this understanding, here is a school, and everyone who enters my life, it's a teacher, the whole dynamic of the situation will change, right? Because now you are a lot more conscious and aware that you're entering a class, and this is a very important class. Number two, when you say this, everyone is a teacher, then again, your feeling for this person will change. We are here, I'm entering a relationship where there is a teacher, and I'm here to learn something from this teacher. So the respect that I would have for my teacher, it will be higher. And the majority of time, when we're sitting in a class, we probably not thinking, hopefully not thinking something sexual about our teachers. We put that aside and we are aware to see, what is the class that I'm taking? I would like to learn this class and I would like to pass my exam, right? So this is number one. Number two, when I'm sitting with this person, you are going to interview this person, right? So then again, what is the most important is that, what is the relationship of this interview? Are you the employer? You're going to interview for a job, or you are the employee? you are, because the dynamic will totally change. If I am an employee, yeah, then I have the power. I have the choice to say yes or no to you. But when I'm going to apply for a job as an employer, then the power is on the other hand. And I might get picked or I might not get picked. So, as an employer, when I'm auditioning or when I'm interviewing you, I am thinking this is a long term job. It's a long term job, and the responsibility that I'm willing to give someone else, it's very important, emotionally, mentally, physically, right? Financially. This is a very important position that I am giving to someone. So the minute I am not the employee, I am the employee, then the power is shifting towards me. And the other person who is reading into this energy is realizing that, oh, she or he is the one in power. And please, when you go to meet someone or when you're going to start a relationship, work on your codependency issues. If you've been abandoned, do some work on yourself, do some work on your healing. And when you meet this person, you are going there to see what are you also going to bring in to this table. You looking to see, is the energy of give and take is balance. Sometimes when you go on a date for the first time and you have a few minutes, you realize that this person is not mentally, emotionally balanced. And if this is something that's important to you, you need to mention that. It is extremely, what are you looking for? I am looking for someone who's mentally, emotionally balanced. They have done the work, they have done their healing, they're in a good place with themselves. Now I am willing to meet someone who has left the baggages of the old relationships and everything behind. Because oftentimes what happens, we get into a relationship, I am damaged, I haven't really realized that self inquiry and who I am and what do I really like. Oftentimes I have a private coaching sessions and I ask people, what do you want? What do you really want? And it just amazes me that most of the time people really don't know. They really don't know what they want. So you need to be really crystal clear about what is it that you want. What is it that you want from this relationship? And once you clear and you take that clarity into your dating or into a relationship, it also helps the other person because we are constantly mirroring one another, right? And all of these characters that we're interacting during the day, they're constantly mirroring us, right? So, what do I need to work on? What points are my strength? What do I feel? Where do I feel weakness? What do I need to work on right now, right? So, when I come from a place that I'm totally and fully crystal clear about what I want, it also I'm mirroring that clarity to the other person, and it helps the other person to become more clear, right? So if you feel that you are desperate right now because you might have been on and off in different relationships and it hasn't worked out, or you're desperately looking to be in a fulfilling relationship and is not happening, then you feel desperate. And desperation, my friend, it's not a good place to be because people smell desperation. And the minute one of the most things that is distracting to me, and probably you or the majority of people, when we feel and sense someone's desperation, when we see how hard this person is trying to get into my good side, for me to like them, for me to say, okay. So, are you guys with me? So, basically, what we want to do at this moment is that I take the time first to work on myself, to know my likes, to know my dislikes, right? I have worked on my desperation, being desperate, codependency, abandonment issues. I have done the work. Now I'm ready to get into this relationship with total clarity, right? And now I am coming from a position, I'm interviewing you to see if you are the right fit for me because I'm making a huge investment. This is a long term relationships that I'm investing in, right? So, what are the key questions when we meet somebody? Never forget, guys, that I always say when I'm physically attracted to someone, when I feel and sense that chemistry, be aware and awake. This is the universe invitation to you. Come on in. We're going to have a very important class right now. So, when I feel this chemistry with somebody and when I really like somebody, the way they look, the way they smell, the way they dress up, and all of that, I remind myself, be careful. You're entering a new class that if you pass this class, you're going to come out with a very high grade. Because let's face it, my friend, every relationship, whether it's partnership, whether it's romantic, whether it's your parents, your friend, or whatever, every relationship is basically sets the tone for many things in our lives, right? So when I'm surrounded, for instance, with good friends, when I have a group, when I have a community, when there is a tribe that I feel that I belong there, my back is supported. I want you guys to feel that right now. Just feel it for a second. When you have many close friends, trusted friends that you can totally open up to them, and you are sure that in the future, when you're totally open, naked, talking about your vulnerabilities, talking about your weakness, they are supporting you and they will never ever use this information against you, right? So when I have a couple of friends, we don't need a dozen, just a couple of good friends that we can fully trust and we know they have our backs, my shoulders will kind of open up and I relax. I feel like my back is supported. And this could be a family member, it could be anybody, right? So relationship is very important. Is in the fulfilling relationship. Even though my fulfilling relationship is with my mother or with my father or a sister or a friend or anybody, that kinds of satisfy my need to feel seen, heard, and my existence is being acknowledged, right? So, right now, we're entering into a new relationship. I'm having all of this thing in the back of my mind. And then, what are the key questions that you should ask this person? Please write it down in the comment for me. What are the key questions that you should ask? First of all, when we meet for the first time, I want to be there totally empty. I want to empty myself from everything. Being empty, that means that while I'm meeting you for the first time, I'm not going to be bringing all the old baggages with me, how the last relationship ended and how much did I suffer, where did I go wrong, or I'm not yet over the last person. And please do yourself and other people this favor. When you're going into a relationship, if you're not totally done with the previous relationship, don't get into another relationship, right? Because we often do that, and I see that a lot in my private coaching session, that you have been in a relationship, you've been hurt, somebody dropped you, you feel resentful, you feel rejected, and all of this thing, you haven't worked on it, you haven't given yourself enough space to come to a good place with yourself. And then you think the solution is to jump in to another relationship. And this is, my friend, not fair to someone else if you're still not done with your ex and you're entering into a relationship. And I should call this a bad karma. You don't want to create this sort of karma for yourself, that you want to use somebody else to make you feel good or overcome the last relationship you had. So please do yourself this favor and don't do that. If you're still not over your ex, don't start getting into a new relationship, because that would not be the solution. All right. So now we're going into a relationship, and of course I'm looking at you and I'm checking you out and I'm saying that, oh, this person is amazing, smells nice, oh, he has or she has a great body. I want you not to get distracted with the physical body, right? Because I understand that we get attracted. That's the first part that all of us feel and sense. Do I have a chemistry with this person or not? If I'm in to a relationship with this person for 1 year or 10 years, would I still sexually be attracted to this person, yes or no? Right? So I understand that physical attraction is extremely important, and I did that in the past. Also, I want to add this, that somebody who I didn't find attractive had so many great qualities. He was extremely loving, caring, giving me everything. It was all about me. There was never an argument or nothing like that. But then again, I thought all of these good attributes, it's going to eventually, I'm going to start to love this person. And the other person feels it too. And they tell you, sometimes they tell you, they say, well, I understand that you don't have the feeling that I have for you. I am so in love with you. And I'm not expecting that you love me, but do you think you can just love me a little bit? And that's so heartbreaking, isn't it, guys? I mean, oh, I don't want to think about my past, because I have been through these relationships that I gave it a month, and then I thought maybe by time I will change and I'll be attracted to this person and stuff. It's not gonna happen. So don't do that. Don't break people's heart. If you see that from the beginning the chemistry is not there, you're not physically attracted to this person, don't fool yourself. It's not going to happen. I also want to add this part to it. It is not impossible that you go with someone who is you're not feeling the chemistry and you don't find them attractive enough. But over time, you start such a deep connection with this person that the physical is just dissipates. It doesn't matter anymore. You don't see the big belly. You don't see whatever is the boldness or whatever is not attractive to you, right? So sometimes this will happen. I'm not saying that it's a rules, but for the majority of time, eventually this fact will catch up, right? So the key questions for you guys. Now I'm here empty. I don't want to go in as a narcissist. And trust me, every date that I did in the past, before I went on a date in my youth, I always promised myself that I'm not going to make it about me because I don't want to be the narcissist anymore. But guess what? Even though I text them or I told them beforehand that this event, this meeting is going to be about you, and I want to know all about you. Somehow it gets out of hands, and then oops, it becomes about me, right? So we have to be very smart that when the other person is starting to take the upper hand, and when I ask you a question, who are you? What really interests you? What's fun in life? What do you call fun? What are your hobbies? What makes you happy? The other person might answer me, give me a short answer, and then turn the question around. And then we get lost in this and we keep getting into so we have to be very careful. We have to be conscious that at this interview, I want to get to know you enough to know what are you saying and what are the things that you're not saying, because oftentimes what is not being said or the silence from someone else is a dot 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 dot. I am not willing to share this information with you, or I don't feel safe enough with you to give you this information, right? So I try to get as much as I can to get to know this person, right? I want to know about their childhood, but not so much that the person feels that um, is he or she is talking to a psychiatrist or it's a coaching session. So the way we talk is extremely friendly, very sweet and charming. But then again, my intention is to get as much information as I can. I want to get to know this person. What are they likes? What are they dislikes? And I want to know, is this person a introvert or extrovert? How do you express yourself? I need to know. If the person is not expressive and they're like, oh, I've been very shy since my childhood and I'm really having a hard time expressing myself, that's a key point for me to get that while I'm getting into this relationship with this person, he or she is not expressive. And I constantly have to try to drag the information from them. And if I'm somebody who I call myself an open book, and what makes me feel safe and secure is that the other person is also an open book. I don't like secrets, right? What gives me that bonding, that deep connection is when someone is really transparent. They're telling me about their childhood, they're talking to me about their hardship. They much in tune with themselves. They know what they want rather than being confusing like, what do you like about life? I don't know. What do you like to do? I don't know. What are your hobbies? What is fun to you? Not much. I'm just working. So these are the key questions that I want to ask to see where am I standing. The other part is that something that I do is that I look at all aspects of my personality, and then I'm very clear about what I like about my personalities and what I don't like. And I would try to see that in the other person, right? Because in the past, I've been in a relationship. Since I'm an open book, I put everything on the table. I believe in transparency. I don't like to play games and all that, right? I don't like this pull and push. I want to know where I'm standing. That's not because I'm a Taurians. Taurians like stability, groundedness. It gives them protection. It gives them power, right? And I want to see that in the other person. And I've been in the past in a relationship that after 7 years, I said to him, I said, we've been together for 7 years. I don't know who you are after 7 years because it's been so secretive, such an introvert that constantly things will come up and I would get pissed off. And I'm like, how come you didn't tell me this? How come you didn't share this information? But, oh, I didn't think it was important. Oh, I thought you would figure out anyway, right? So these are the things that we want to take with us to this dating, to say, these are the things that are really important to me. Are these things important to you or not? Because one of the stuff that we get into argument a lot is our differences, right? So if we don't mention who we are and we don't really figure out who they are, and we kind of put this together before we enter a relationship, what can I accept and put up with, and what can I absolutely not accept and not to get into? When I go with that clarity, right, it makes the relationship easier. Relationships are very hard. I get it. But if you guys do this thing, number one, I'm going to, before I wrap it up, let's put it together. Number one, Earth School is a class. Every minute or every second, I'm sitting in a class. Number two, everyone who shows up in my story, in my movie, including me, these actors are teachers. I should have respect for the teachers, and I should really be aware the whole time that they are teaching me a lesson. If I understand at the beginning what is the lesson, that is going to obviously make the class much more easier, and it could be even enjoyable, right? So the second thing is I am going to interview this person, because guess what, guys? If you're planning to spend the rest of your life with someone or give someone 5 years, 7 years of your life, you really want to give this an importance to ask the important question. So this interview is about you coming from a position of the employee. You're coming from a place that you have the power, you can choose. You're not desperate. You're not going from a place of desperation. Therefore, you're interviewing this person to see if he or she is a really good match for you. And this is a huge investment, right? You can even make it clear, I'm not after one night stand. So I'm looking for a long-term relationship, and I don't want to waste time. I really want to know, are we a good match for each other? Yes or no? right? So you position yourself as an employee, you ask all the key questions, you tell them what are the things that are really important, meaningful for you, and what are the things that are important to them or they don't have any value for it. Because let's face it, if something is really valuable and important to me, like transparency, and my partner doesn't have that, this is done, because it's going to be years of struggling, right? So I know firsthand this is not the person for me. I get it, the attraction, the chemistry, whatever, it's there. But then again, I am in a class. Okay, guys, this was the live for today. I love you all. Don't forget, if you guys are watching me, you happen to see me for the first time on YouTube, please do not forget to subscribe, like, and share. And for everyone who are joining me today via Instagram, thank you so much. If you just coming, please subscribe to my channels. And I see you guys next Wednesday. Every Wednesday, we're having a live to talk together. Please also tell me what areas of your life you're having issues with. And if you be kind enough and write in the comments or DMs or wherever your age, because as I said before, I really want to help the Gen Z. Those are our futures, the new generations. And I want to put a lot of focus on you guys. Whatever you need, however I can help you out, please let me know. So don't forget to write your age. That would be fabulous. And don't forget, I'm going to Toronto, Canada for a 3 days retreat, November 15, 16, 17. If you are in Toronto area, or doesn't matter, wherever you are, if you want to join us on this webinar, please DM us and I shall see you guys there. Is going to be unforgettable 3 days that you will have one-on-one or group with me. Love and peace. Till next week. Bye bye, everybody. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself a lot. Goodbye. 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 Goodbye.